What is up, down, and sideways, all you beautiful individuals? It is another Riot League Unlocked. My name is Eric, flying Han Solo on today's episode as we hop all aboard. It's not a train, it's not Superman. It is the KT ROLSTER coaster. Never will you see a more perfect embodiment of the wild ride that is being a KT fan than the individual series they just had against GenG, because really it had it all. You had maybe a rough early game where it looks like they're going to get steamrolled, only to find immaculate team fight after immaculate team fight to drag themselves back into the game, be in the driver's seat, look like they're on the path to a victory, only to lose basically a single team fight to GenG. Whether it's, there's a good wombo combo in game one, obviously GenG is GenG, but one single team fight completely unravels all of the work that KT does, and it's basically a repeat for performance in the same area. The same thing happens in both games one and game two. Unbelievable that this ends up being a sweep at the hands of GenG, when again it looked like we were due for bare minimum a third game, and really KT should have been walking away with the first game, and you could argue the second, but this is, it's equal parts GenG, credit where credit is due. Even though KT were finding team fight win after team fight win, the gold lead never really ballooned out of control, and as soon as there is a wombo combo opportunity, I mean, Rel, Wukong, Galio is quite a trio to put somebody in the bounce house, especially when Ruler is on the Kaisa. And the second game was maybe even more surprising, because you're talking about a insanely fed Ziggs that was legit two-tapping. It was like 50% of Ruler's health was getting popped by this Ziggs, and Docdom was doing insane amounts of damage, but it still just doesn't matter because GenG finds one team fight. The swings of gold lead from GenG winning a team fight versus KT winning one was absolutely astronomical. And that's, mainly it's got to be due to the fact that GenG has done all the steps ahead to when they do win a team fight, they can take multiple objectives and really snowball the game out of control, whereas KT already kind of on the back foot from pressure from GenG, that even when they were winning these team fights and winning them in decisive fashion, like 4-1, 5-2, setups like that, there's just not much on the map for them to take care of, or they have to be pushing the waves back before they can get anything rolling. And again, that's just a testament to GenG being GenG. I was ready to make a panic headline for this video, like sound the alarms, GenG has lost 2 series in a row, is it all falling apart? Obviously completely hyperbolic and wouldn't have been concerned whatsoever, but perhaps me even ushering that into our global consciousness, thinking that that could be a possibility, was enough for KT to completely drop the bag against GenG. And I think they're now 500 now, 11-11, and the saga of going up against the top titans in the LCK time and time again has got to be wearing on BDD and the boys, because this is an absolute onslaught of a unclimbable gauntlet that is Hanwha Life, T1, and GenG, and KT is unfortunately suffering it the most of all these LCK squads. But still, I believe in BDD. I believe this could still be the 4th best team in the LCK, and might still be, even though maybe the record doesn't dictate it. They're similar with D+ and Nongshim, and that is the 3-horse race, in my mind, to be finishing as that 4th seed for the LCK heading to the World Championship. But GenG gets things back on foot, and Chovy picks up another MVP. He's got now, carrying over from that first round, 12 MVPs to lead the pack within the LCK. D+ I alluded to did get a win against the 1-19 DN Freaks. The inverse of GenG rolls on as they go to 1-20. LPL side of things, we did have a banger matchup of former RNG members and star players within the LPL. We had IG versus Waybo Gaming, and we got to jump right to game 2, because the highlight of this whole series is a Nexus for Nexus, not Nexus for Nexus trade, but a Nexus defense leading into a one-off win for IG, but it all comes down. This was incredibly back and forth in game 2. We're going north of 40 minutes. There was a lot of insane team fights, but IG gets a fight to get back in the game, and then they're pushing top, and Waybo holds off, kills 4 of them, and you hear the cast saying, okay, great, we're getting to game 3. There we go. We're on the path to game 3, but they forgot about rookies Yone, who does the distraction act of all time, not only catching a mid lane wave, but then flashing into the Waybo base to just stall. And with a Guardian Angel and with some fancy footwork, he delays for basically the entirety of his team's death timers, which means Waybo has absolutely no chance to actually end the game. And by the time Rookie respawns, IG is ready to fight, get a couple of picks, and they push to end the game the opposite end. And obviously this is a bit of a redemption for how they lost to FPX earlier in the year, but happy to see Rookie playing at a level like this. This was we saw Gala on Kaisa, which is always a treat, but really Light was probably the better performing AD carry across this series. But still, both of these squads we know what Waybo and IG are. We know that they are inconsistent. That is the only single word you could use to describe these guys, and they continue to be that. They can be at the very best of the LPL, or they can be losing to FPX, and this is not a stalwart FPX that we're excited about making a run to playoffs, but IG winning in this fashion, obviously with this revamped lineup with Way in as the jungle, they've looked pretty good. I mean, are the highs better than what they were getting with GenG in the jungle? I don't know, but I will say Rookie is in maybe the finest form he's been in a little while. The Shy was dying in some solo kills against Breathe, but that's bound to happen whenever he matches up. So tentatively excited about this IG roster when they can win. They always bring the drama at the very least. The ending of this game was absolutely dramatic. The drama around Surti returning to the LTA is something I did not have on the bingo card. We already talked about he's not going to be with Dignitas, going to be transitioning to kind of content creation and streaming with that team. But now we got a little drama in the top side for Lion Gaming, who, as we know, moved on from Licorice. They had a temporary sub that had like a 2-34 record in pro play that everybody memed about, but they were waiting for Zamudo to come in, who's one of the most hyped up prospects in the challenger scene, who also happens to be Canadian. And because of that, it seems like visa issues have been a bit of a concern for Lion Gaming. Now, in years past, Canada or Canadians getting a visa to play in the LTA would be no issue, but we live in different times these days, and now it looks like Surti, his hiatus from pro play, will have lasted all of 1 week as he looks set to start week 2 against Team Liquid for Lion, and remains to be seen whether or not this is going to be the permanent top laner for this split. I don't know if these visa issues are going to get sorted out. It's really too bad, because Zamudo is a guy I think everyone wanted to see get promoted to that tier 1 region to prove himself, and is again one of the more hyped up prospects, not just in the top lane but in the challenger scene as a whole. So absolutely hope if this isn't his main opportunity, that he gets another one. But maybe Surti will be able to showcase something more with this Lion Gaming squad. Excited to see him back, of course, but that is quite a top lane carousel of drama for Lion Gaming. And listen, Surti, if he gets to match up against I'll call it resurgent performance from Impact in week 1, but has by no means been the typical level that we're associating with Impact. So maybe there's an opportunity here for Surti to kind of make another stamp of approval that he deserves to be in this tier 1 region. But can't be good behind the scenes for Lion Gaming, but still excited to see Surti. And again, hope that Zamudo gets things sorted out, whether it's with Lion Gaming or somebody else, because this man deserves a tier 1 opportunity in the LTA North or South. I'll throw any of them. Just give this guy an opportunity to get there, and we'll see if that drama gets sorted out. But let me tell you, that is it today for League Unlocked. We got LEC kicking off this weekend. LTA obviously rolls into week 2. Lots of LPL and LCK that we will all be breaking down on the Monday. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out, and stay beautiful as always. You know we will catch you on that flippity flip.